So then this is the, what would be the home page. So if you wanted to do research on style, where would you press? You'll just have to kind of walk me through it.
Okay, I would click on style movement.
Okay, would you click on the top one or the middle one?
Probably the top.
Okay. And what would you expect to find under style movement?
I expect maybe like tabs to drop down that would give me different options for style movement.
And what would that content be?
It would be like probably in order of like year for style movement, and like the year, and then like maybe the name of that period.
Okay, so you understood that that what style movement meant. Different styles of design.
Yeah, and it would coordinate to the year the style happened.
Okay. And then what would you think would be under cultural identity? Information under there that might be different from style movement.
Maybe like an effect of the style movement would be cultural identity.
Okay. Would it be understandable to you if under cultural identity might be things like Chinese design, Asian design, Japanese design, Cuban design, Black design, African American design? Would that make sense to you?
It would after I clicked on it.
Okay.
But initially, I would not be too sure before clicking on it what I would find under that tab.
Okay, right. And then if you wanted to find out more about this organization that's putting on this website, where would you go?
About.
And then what would you expect to be under contribute?
Probably a page where I could make a donation to continue to support this webpage.
Anything else?
Maybe individuals that are working in design that I could be like a patron to and support.
Okay. So contribute is supposed to be where you could contribute your research.
Okay.
If you knew somebody that you wanted to add or wasn't added. So I need to be a little more clear with that. Okay. So now what you've done is you've pressed style movement. It didn't come up in order. Let me go back out of here. And after you press style movement, this screen, or this screen would come up, and these are all the style movements, and like you mentioned, they are in chronological order. And what I want you to do is just look through it, and I want you to find Art Nouveau too.
Okay, I found it.
Okay. And then after that, you would come to this page, and what would be listed is all the people that have been included for Art Nouveau 2, so they'd be within a certain time period. And then Frances McDonald is the one highlighted that we would go to next. How would you expect these people to be listed in order? Would you have an expectation of who would be first?
Probably alphabetical.
Alphabetical. Would you
or
have
according to the timeline?
Or chronological? And then this is the individual designers page. So this one's a little different than the other one. So now you've selected Frances McDonald. Now you're on her page of information. And I'm just going to kind of walk you through it. Obviously, this is not design. This is just about like function and areas. So you see headline and body copy. Like that's where you would read information about her. And then what are some of the other things you see, and what are the expectations of what they would be?
Let's see. I guess with citations, maybe in the body copy, it'd be hyperlinked. So I could click on it and it would coordinate to the citation. So if I wanted to learn more.
That's a great idea.
Kind of like Wikipedia.
Great idea.
I guess download copy, would that mean it would be a PDF version of the body copy?
Well, I want it to be really easy to download it, like so almost to have like, you know, when you have a recipe and they have like print version and it prints
Yeah, yeah.
a recipe book. I want it to be really easy to download or really easy to copy and paste. I don't want to have any like kind of function built in that makes it hard to do that because you're copyrighted. I want it to be that anyone can grab it. So that's what that's about.
So like a reader's view.
Whatever needs to happen so that it will just, you know, maybe it's just a download to a PDF, but when it downloads really cleanly, that it's the copy on the top, photography on the bottom, you know, imagery on the bottom, citations underneath that it just has a real clean download.
Mm-hmm.
And then what do you think a doctor's is? What do you think that is?
I don't know.
Um, that is going to be where a professor and their institution could say that they adopted this person into the curriculum. Uh,
Okay.
the idea is that would be very helpful for smaller schools that have smaller departments, so they could see what Yale is doing, what Harvard is doing, that kind of thing, and kind of, you know, keep up with their curriculum.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then photos. So, you know, I think, you know, photos will be photos of their work, um, photos of the person, their
Mm-hmm.
colleagues maybe. But do you have any expectations of what photo would do? Like if you clicked on it, if you know, what would it do? Would you like it to do anything?
Mm-hmm. Maybe. Mm, maybe just when you hover over it, it expands a bit, so it um, is more emphasized than the other ones.
Mm. So just a little pop up, not even a pop
Yeah.
up with a hover. Um, I was thinking just as you were thinking that obviously the name of the work, the time period of the work, that would be really important.
Yeah, maybe like when you hover over it, it would kind of stand out more.
Mm-hmm.
And then when it stands out more, there's like a little gray bar at the bottom that says like the title of the work and the year or something.
Yeah, I guess this could go even further with that you could add context to the work. I mean, as
Mm-hmm.
you know, it could start off with just the name of the work or the client or the date, and then it could turn into context to add even
Yeah,
more meaning to
that's
it.
a good idea. Maybe when you, upon clicking on it, then you get more in
Especially
depth.
when I don't want to be stereotypical, but a lot of times minority work, diverse work, women, that kind of work is has more context to it than just capitalism. So that would be interesting.
Mm-hmm.
And that just reminded me, I left women out of the cultural identity. We're not in there.
Well,
um, what do you think more reading would be?
probably just like more text, maybe like publications that are parallel to the citations.
Mm-hmm. So it was supposed to be people that are similar. So if you were on Frances McDonald, then you would get
Uh,
more information on Margaret McDonald, or you might get more information about women that were working in Glasgow at the time, or something like
okay.
that. So I think I need to change that heading. All of you got that one wrong. So not wrong, but didn't get that one. Okay, great. Let me go to the last slide. So the last slide is a little challenging. So I wanted to have a timeline. And so what I'm showing here is, you know, what the timeline would look like. It would have on the left, depending on how the person had filtered it, you would have style movement or you would have the cultural identity. Um, and then you would have a filter and you could filter it by these different ways. And so you want to take a look at the filtering system and see if it kind of works for you or if you think something else. And really think about when you do your art history research, what are you looking for? What would help you?
Mm, I guess with subject slash culture, that's kind of difficult because like a lot of art history is tied to like theory. So like that's kind of what I would like suggest as like if it was art history, it would be more like that would be like a theory tab. But I guess for like design,
Give me an example of theory of how that would sort
like
graphic design differently than these two.
I guess because like for example, like for theory for art history, like there's like Marxism involved or there's feminism involved, um, like economic values that are involved in art history as well.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I guess subject and culture feels like I wouldn't know what would happen if I clicked on that.
Well, even when because it's been changed to cultural identity.
Oh, so it's cultural identity, not subject.
Yeah, subject was the old one, so it's now
Oh, okay. Sorry, I just saw that there.
and style, movement.
Because, like, for example, like this book is cool because it like breaks it down by like each individual theorist, and then it has like little vocab words for like the theory that they introduce for art history.
Mm-hmm.
So like for this one, key concept is like colonial discourse, Orientalism, imperialism, post-colonial theory, and then it says like Edward said, and then it's like a little biography of them,
Mm-hmm.
and then like at the very end, it has like further reading by said,
Mm-hmm.
and then it.
I'm just
Sorry.
wondering, like, so we're trying. The goal is to add diversity to the teaching of history of graphic design to the curriculum. So,
Mm-hmm.
like, let's just use Marxism. That wouldn't be part of the goal because if we talked about Marxism as a graphic design style theory, you'd be going to white men. You'd go right to looking at white men. So
Mm-hmm.
we want to have subjects, have the subjects be something that fulfills the goal. You know, so I'm not sure Marxist would be something you'd want to sort because Marxist is talked about in the history of graphic design. It is talked about in all the books.
Yeah,
So you'd
I
want to
guess
focus more on the women or men or Asian or whatever who brought that to their work, not the actual theory of the work.
yeah, I guess though I just thought that like if you like clicked on like subject or culture, those different like ideals would come up, and then when you clicked on them, people who are of minority who have incorporated those themes would come up. I guess that's what I thought.
Yeah, I mean, maybe that's something to turn into to have it grow into. Yeah, I mean that's something to have it grow into if you wanted to add that.